Kia ora, I'm Helen Brahms from Cruise Planners, and I'm sitting here today and I am super excited because this is one of the places on my destination bucket list that I really want to talk about, and it's the Galapagos Islands. And International Expeditions has a phenomenal package that will go there and give you an incredible experience. And with me is Kristen Day from International Expeditions, and if you haven't heard of Kristen, go back and check out a radio show that we did on Zebram Expeditions and some of the unique itineraries. But that's not what we're here for today. We're looking at the Galapagos today and some of the great experiences that we're going to have. Kristen, first of all, thank you so much for doing this with us. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now, the Galapagos provides a very unique experience for those that go there.
Yes.
Could you walk us through what a day would be like on the expedition to the Galapagos?
I would love to, and I have to tell you, I had the privilege of taking my whole family there this past May, so I have lived it and I absolutely love it. It is a phenomenal experience for all generations, but the days are great because they're busy. And it is from pretty much from when you wake up to when you go to bed, you have opportunities to get out into the different experiences and dive in. So let me take you through kind of an example of a day. We wake up on our gorgeous ship, the Evolution. We are fueled with a fantastic fresh coffee and great breakfast, and then we will immediately go out and start exploring. So you jump in your panga with your guide, and it can be exploring an island, or it can actually also be a morning of snorkeling. About 50% of your time on the Galapagos is spent under the water, and the other 50% of course on the land. So there's a lot to see in marine life and also the land opportunities. So in the morning we'll either go out and do one of our island hikes or walks, or we're going to do snorkeling. We'll come back to the Evolution to kind of wash up and get ready for lunch. Have a great lunch, which the crew prepares for us. And then we actually have a little bit of a siesta time in there.
Ooh, we like siesta times.
Because typically we've actually done 2 outings before we even get to lunch. So
wow.
After the second outing, you're ready maybe for a little bit of a rest, or to just stay out on our glorious decks and soak in that Ecuadorian sun and kind of get ready for the afternoon. After we let you rest a little bit on siesta, we're going to take you right back out there again on the panga, and again it's either going to be an afternoon of walking on the land, and again remember there's all uninhabited islands to see, so when you're walking through the hikes in the Galapagos, it is just pretty much an instant gratification wildlife experience, because they are not afraid of us because they are not hunted. So when you get off on the Zodiacs and you're starting your walk, you will have blue-footed boobies, you will have sea lions, you will have all nature literally all around you.
Cool.
It's really immersive and it's beautiful. And then you continue your walks, and of course our guides are helping and interpreting everything from the flora and fauna to the wildlife to the different cultural elements that we're going to introduce you to from some of the islands that are inhabited. So it's really busy. So we do usually 2 outings in the afternoon as well. Typically one is a snorkeling experience, but it depends where we are exactly. It could be 2 experiences on the panga. Some of the special things that we do are going to the Charles Darwin Research Station, which is phenomenal.
Okay.
That is a fantastic opportunity to really understand what Galapagos is about in terms of diversity, because every island has a different variation of a species, and the giant tortoise is the best example of that. They're not the same on any one island, and it's one of nature's biggest mysteries, but that's
because the islands are not that far apart, are they?
No, but they are all distinctly different, and they have not crossed. So that's very interesting. So that you get a really good sense of that there. The other thing that I loved that we did with IE was our guides brought us to a local coffee farm that's owned by a local family, and we learned about making sugarcane, growing coffee, which, as you know, Ecuador is a fantastic coffee producer, and also. I don't know if it should just be a secret between me and you, Helen, but they make a little bit of moonshine.
Moonshine?
Just saying, they do it all. But it's so much fun because they let you make the sugar cane, and they let you try to roast some coffee beans. They don't let you make the moonshine.
But they show you the process?
They do, yeah. Okay. And you're actively, like my kids were pushing the big, sugarcane stalk crusher around and around, and it's hard work. So it's really immersive, but it's fun because the Galapagos is all about wildlife, but there's a lot of really beautiful cultural elements that we try to work in as well, because it's a beautiful people there, with a very rich history, and it's something not to be missed.
Excellent. Now you mentioned the blue-footed boobies, which are these birds here. I think that I have never seen them live, but I have seen them on video, and they have the most craziest mating dance.
They are clowns, yeah. You know what they are? They're a cross of a clown and Frankenstein, all rode into one beast on land.
Yeah.
They are
And they do these weird little dances.
They do. They're very actually klutzy looking, and it is very funny to watch them because they look like they're gonna tip over at any point. They're just not sure. But then the fun part is I actually saw them first in air, and there's nothing more graceful and more beautiful than a blue-footed booby flying over. And actually we saw them feeding on fish. So graceful and talented, it's crazy. But watch them try to walk a couple steps on land, and you want to run around catching them because you swear they're going to trip and fall. They're crazy.
Now you mentioned snorkeling, and I do have some people who love to go diving. And are they able to do scuba diving as well, or is it just the snorkeling?
We have done scuba diving on a custom basis.
Okay.
The ship is outfitted for snorkeling, so we supply all of our guests with the snorkel gear as well as the wetsuits. And diving we have done on a custom basis.
Okay.
Sort of maybe a pre-extension or a post-extension.
Excellent.
Yes.
And now you have some phenomenal guides, and I've got your guide page open right here. Because I know your guides are the favorite part of the trip.
They are. I cannot say enough. Now that I've traveled with them, I'm so happy to just brag about them in person because they are phenomenal. With the people that you're seeing here, this beautiful gentleman is Boli Sanchez, our head expedition leader, and then this is Alex Cox. And then we have Christina, here she is. Christina is also here. 3 incredibly talented and highly experienced people. They've been with us for about 10 years. But I have to tell you, the genius of them is just their sincere passion to share where they're from, which is Ecuador and the Galapagos, and share their knowledge of the wildlife, the people, the culture, and what it's like to grow up there and live there. It's really an incredible thing. And aside from all of that, they really care about taking care of the guest and making sure they have the best experience and they get out of that trip what they're looking for. You know, it's really very personal.
Because you guys also, when they're doing the Galapagos, they have like a pre-boarding questionnaire thing, don't they?
Yes.
Which the guides actually read.
Yes. Oh, they take it very seriously. And I have a really neat example, Helen. We had a guest on my particular trip, and this was a trip of a lifetime. You know, they were retired, and they just said, finally, we're just going to do it. And so they came. But her dream was to snorkel. But she'd never, ever snorkeled before, ever.
Wow.
And she was terrified. And her list actually said, I'd love to snorkel, but never mind, I'm too afraid. So Boli read that and said, oh, you're snorkeling. And so she really was actually quite nervous. So between Boli and our amazing captain, Victor, they worked with her every day. And they got her to the point where she was a little bit not that comfortable being in the water to freely snorkeling by the end of the trip. And all of us got to watch that evolution. It was
what
beautiful.
What a beautiful experience for her.
It was beautiful. She was in tears on the farewell dinner thanking them so much.
Because now she would be living a life of no regrets.
Yes. And
that's awesome.
She enjoyed it. You know, it wasn't just doing it, she really enjoyed it. And I was so happy to see that happen. We all were. It was just beautiful.
Now, the other cool thing about the Galapagos is that right now at international expeditions, if you want to go this year, they've got space for you to be able to go this year, and they've got some great deals, right?
We do. 2015, we do have some space left, and we do have some great values, Helen. There's no single supplements that we're offering on some departures.
Solo travelers, do you hear that? No single supplements.
It's fantastic.
We love that.
It's fantastic. And we're actually offering on some departures a $1,500 air credit for you. So to go.
Cool.
Yeah. So so ask Helen about that because she'll tell you. It's a wonderful value. So
it's excellent.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Well, Kristen, thank you so much for your time today. I truly appreciate it. And if you want to know more about the international expeditions and the Galapagos, please go to connectwithhelen.com and set up a time for us to have a chat. I'm Helen Brahms from Cruise Planners. He konera.